everybody, and welcome back to Colouring with Amy. So it's completed pages time. A day early I'm recording this, but I don't think I'm going to get any more finished for this month. I've had quite a good month, and I think that's probably because I've had some time off work and I had some really good time to colour. I've done 12 images this month, real mix of books, and then I went a bit crazy with glitter and things at the end of the month. So this is on Saturday in the afternoon. My daughter's playing Switch in the background, so if you hear anything from her, that's what it is. So let's get started. I'm just going to move this kind of over there. Right, it's not quite right. I'm going to put them on the floor. That's a better idea. Oh gosh, it's heavy. Right, so the first one is from Rita Berman's Die Welt unter der Lupe zu Wasser. So microscope under the water, as I understand it. And in this one, I'm just going to find it. I did this page. I had such a lot of fun with this one. I cannot remember for that. I think the pencil, so the dolphins and the whale are the Pencil Works Polychromos. In here there's also some Arteza metallic watercolours and some Pentel Jewel Hybrid and some Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze for the black roofs. Then in the background there, I went over all of the black line art in the sea. And I used some Calero Fine Tech paints, some Arteza metallic watercolour paints, and I had a lot of fun with the background. And then the blue here, this is, I think it's just pastel, soft pastel. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Really like how these fishes here turned out, not my normal colours that I'd go for. And then these ones here as well, purple and yellow. But yeah, I had a really lot of fun. That one was a little bit kind of metallic-y, but I didn't go overboard with the glitter on that one. So that's that one. Then we go to Fragile World by Kirby Roseanne. I love this book. Which one did I do? I did a Bumblebee, and I believe my daughter chose this one for me. Just got to find it. Here we go. So, yeah, Bumblebee. And I believe this was with Black Widow pencils for this one. Yeah. And then on the leaves, I don't know, sorry, not the leaves, the wings, I put some Winsor & Newton iridescent medium. And I did that on all of the bees' wings, actually, but I don't know if you can pick that up here. And I knew I wanted this flower to be purple, be quite a vivid colour. And in the background, I used a cloud stencil with some soft pencil, pastel even. Gosh, I'm struggling with my words today. But that's Fragile World. Then I did a really cute page from this book. I went crazy with my rainbow colour ideas. So there's lots of Pentel Jewel Hybrid on the wings of these dragons. Lots of stickles. Then there's some stickle glitter gel in this unicorn's hair. And my daughter chose the colours for these unicorns, and we decided that this is Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony, and this is Fluttershy from My Little Pony. So yeah, that was a lot of fun when we realised that. Lots and lots of glitter. And I think this was for like a colour along on Instagram with Wonder Blings, which had to incorporate fairies and things. So that's that one. Lots of fun had with this, and I'm finding I really like Black Widows in Lulu Mayo's books. And this background here I actually did with Bambino crayons, which Lucy Just Adds Colour on YouTube was using for background. I thought, oh yes, I'm going to give that a try, and it's worked really nicely. I like the way it's all blended, and it's all just worked really nicely. And I went over with pencil on the top, which I didn't know you could do. So that's that. Then we go to Rita Berman's spring book, and I went for some birdhouses in this book. And the background is, I believe it's iridescent gelatos. and I use them dry. I much prefer using them dry. And then I decided each birdhouse would match the bird. So yeah, I think you can probably see that without me telling you that. And that was, I really, really enjoyed it. I'm quite inspired by Rita Berman's pages, because the colouring, the way she does her colouring her pages, it's so colourful. So I always feel as though that's what I want to go with whenever I colour her books. So yeah, I was really happy with this one. And I generally tend to gravitate towards my Arteza expert in these books, because they just lay down so lovely and so vibrant, and they're lovely and soft as well. So yeah, really like that one. Then we've got another Lulu Mayo book. This page is hilarious. I did this while my parents were staying with us, and my dad's an artist, and I wanted to do a red background, and I got my distressed inks out and I tried, and it was just a complete mess. So I needed to save the page, and I got out my black, I think it was my Magic Fly iridescent black acrylic, and I rescued that by putting that over the distressed ink, which was a mess. And then I got my Stickles glitter gel in dark matter out and really blinged up the background, and as a result I really loved the way the page turned out. And I tried to go for a glass effect on the plates, which I don't know if you can quite see, and I did use some glossy accents, but I've been struggling with using I put some glossy accents on the strawberries, but I've been struggling with using glossy accents because they haven't been coming out the way I've seen in other people's pictures. So I decided to watch a video on how you're meant to use them. I realised I was using them completely wrong. So yeah, so mine have always been coming out looking really, really rough, like that, rather than like this smooth, glossy sheen. So, but I have got a picture where I have actually used them correctly, and that's come out really well. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that page. I think it looks super cute. It looks kind of low. It's like it's in a cosmic spaceship cake shop rather than, a French patisserie. But hey, I rescued the page, and that's all that matters. Again, I used Black Widows, Pencil Jewel Hybrid on the tablecloth, glossy accents, even though I couldn't use them properly. Lots of fun. But they always tend to be lots of fun to Lulu Mayo pages. Then we've got Circle of Life, and I asked my daughter to choose me a page in this. There was like 6 pages that I was looking to do, and I just said, just choose a page. And she chose me this page, and this is a page I would never have chosen to do myself in a million years. And all I could see was pink flowers in the trees, vultures, and I knew that I wanted my sky to be graduated dark, kind of light nighttime. I believe I used polychromos for this, and then I did actually go over the pink in some Staedtler fine liner just to make that a little bit more vibrant. And then there's some white gel pen in the background for the night sky. But I really love the way this turned out. Like I said, I would never have picked this page to do myself. So I'm really pleased that she pushed me by just saying, Mummy, you're doing that one. So yeah, that's that one. It looked quite dramatic actually. And I used reference pictures on Google for the vultures to see what their colourings were and things like that. But yeah, really happy. Then we've got World of Flowers. World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. I had a lot of fun with this page. I have never coloured bugs. They've never appealed to me to colour. But I thought, okay, so if I've never coloured bugs, let's give them a go. And I've this month, I've just been up for pages that have been 1 page, not double page spreads. And I will be fairly quick. That's probably why I've done more this month. Yeah, this is how that page turned out. So I used... I cannot remember what I used for the bugs themselves. It looks as though it might have been polychromos. And then the background is Distress ink. And then I used some stencils and a baby wipe to get the kind of white brick effects and the circles. And then I put some stickles on the corners of each of those to give it a bit of glitter. And I really love the way that it's come out. Really, really love it. It's so much fun. And I really like the way the purple and green go together. I don't know if you... And because it's distress ink, the distress inks kind of change colour when you've put the stickle gel on. And I just really like that page. So I can use distress ink, but I'm finding that I'm much better when it's kind of smaller. I don't know if it's smaller areas or larger areas, but when it's things like this, where it's not going around such intricate details, I'm much better at using them. So yeah, I love that. Love this page. I just can't stop looking at it now. I've got it open. I don't want to close it. That sounds so stupid, doesn't it? But yeah, that's that one. Then we've got Johanna Basford Magical Jungle. And I've been wanting to do this page for quite a while. I've just got to find it. No, not that one. There we go. And I cannot for the life of me. I think I did this with my Arteza Premium. So it's like the triangular barrel of the pencil. And I just love the vibrancy of this. I didn't want all green leaves, hence the red ones, so the oranges and the yellows and the pink and green at the bottom. And it's all pencil. Even the background in the bottle is all pencil. Yeah, I don't normally go for all pencil, and I just didn't feel as though it needed a background. There you go, you can get the full picture of it now. And I put a little bit of Posca pen in to make it look like a bottle. But yeah, really happy with it. Really, really happy with how that turned out. And just love the colours more than anything. It's just such a happy, cheery page is what I got from it. So that's Magical Jungle. Then I did a page from Worlds of Wonder. Again, my daughter chose this page for me. Whoa. So, yes, flamingos. I knew I wanted the buildings to be fairly neutral in the background, and I knew I wanted the roofs to be done with my Pentel Dual Hybrids, so you can just about see the two tones of that. Flamingos for me had to be pink, and I kind of went over all of the black lines with white. Then this in the background, I think, is Near Colour 2. Near Colour 2 in the inner circle. It took me about 3 layers to get the effects there that I wanted. Then I felt as though it needed something else in the outer circle, so I used some Arteza acrylic pouring paint in lavender that I've got. And then I went crazy. This is where the glitter started kicking in this month. I went crazy with my Stickles glitter gel, and I think it's Pegasus, this one. But it was so much fun, and I actually really like the way it turned out. And then I added some stick-on stars, that's these ones here, to really kind of shine it up. And some of them have fallen off, I think, which is a bit disappointing. But never mind, that's fine. You know, it's a colouring book. There we go. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with that, and that's the other side to that page. I'm not very good at making my 2 pages uniform, but do you need to? I've seen so many pages where double pages are kind of same styles next to one another. I think I did that in Ivy, but yeah, this one just didn't turn out the same as the one next to it. I guess, you know, there's still pink and purple, and I've still done pink and purple. But as I've said before, I seem to have a pink and purple penchant, if that's the right word. But yeah, that's that one, Worlds of Wonder. I had a real Johanna Basford month, I think, but I have got a lot of her books. And then I did something in Lost Ocean. I just got to find it. I did a ship in Lost Ocean. Here we go. This ship in Lost Ocean. So I knew I wanted the sails to look as though they were under the sea. So I think I achieved that with the graduated dark to light. I knew I wanted the ship So the sales were all Black Widow. All of these coral type things on the ship were all done in fine liners. And I knew I wanted them in pink, oranges, reds. And then the ship is back to pencil. Then the sea I did with Ecoline water base markers. And then the swirls are all done in Pentel Dual Hybrid in silver. And then I went over the Ecoline in something called Enchanted Shimmer by Deco Art, which is like a top coat and adds a shimmery blue colour. You can get colours in violet, blue, green, but I've only got the blue so far. But I really like the kind of shimmery effect that brought to the overall thing. And then I put some Distress ink in the background in Speckled Egg with a few, because I think I wanted it to be quite a gloomy sky, but I didn't want to do it black. So I went for quite a smoky sky and then some twinkles with some stickles in the background. So yeah, I quite like the way that one turned out. And I've not done a ship before, so it was quite nice to do something different. Then I went to Hannah Carson, and this was a new book for me this month, so it was my first one in this book. And I also, when doing this page, wanted to get completely away from the colours I normally go for, which are, especially for flowers, I wanted to get away from blues, pinks and purples for flowers. So I went with red and orange for the flowers, as you can see here. And this is all polychromos. And then this is the glossy accents. And I don't know if you can see, but this worked. After watching the YouTube video on how to do it properly, this worked so much better and was exactly the effect that I wanted. And I knew I wanted this bottle to be like a dark red with like flames to kind of match the colour scheme. And then the background is with Silky Gel Crayon. And I love the way that it's turned out. And then some gold Posca dots. And then I went round the bottle with white Posca. And I love the way it's turned out. And it was relatively quick. Actually, I won't put the date I did this one. But yeah, this one I completed last weekend. And I'm going to be using my gel crayons much more because they're just so easy for backgrounds. And the effect that I got here is just amazing. And I use them with the tools you use for Distress ink to get them. I put them on a Caran d'Ache white palette, pick it up with the Distress ink tool and then put it on the page dry. And it just, the effect is really, really nice. Really happy. Really happy. There's some Pentel Dual Hybrid, polychromos, and then glossy accents for the bottle. So yeah, that's that one. And then my final one for the month, which is also a new book for me this month, A Million Bears. I could only get the French edition, but I quite like the paper of the French edition. I think some people have said they don't like it, but I quite liked it. So I did A Million Bears. And I seem to have done a lot of sea type things this month. But I did this one and I completed this yesterday. So polar bears. And they're so much fun. I just love the way they've got swimming trunks on. So yeah, I did this with Black Widows. I like Black Widows and Lulu Mayo books. And then I've used some Pentel Dual Hybrids for some accents. And then I use my Silky Gel crayons on the bottom and on the top. And then this is Stickle Glitter Gel in Aquarius, I think. And then I use some Cosmic Shimmer Lunar Paste. And I think that's like ice or something for the top. But yeah, so I went a bit crazy with glitter towards the end of the month. But glitter just makes everything look so pretty. But yeah. That's my completed pages for April. I really hope you enjoyed my video for this month. And I will probably be doing the second part of my Hannah Basford, looking at all my completed pages in Lost Ocean. So have a good month. Happy colouring, everybody. And see you again soon. Bye.